Please stay tuned because in just a few minutes, we'll be delving deeply into all the drama, and you'll hear the untold truths that are rocking the early world. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button because today, we've got one of the most talked about moments from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Did Rasheeda just throw major shade at Yandy and Mendeecees? What about Saucy Santana? Has he really had the breakthrough we've all been waiting for? You won't want to miss today's video as we break down these explosive moments and give you the inside scoop on everything that happened. We're not just talking about the drama, we're getting into the why behind it, the real stories that might surprise you, and the unexpected twists that you didn't see coming by the end. This show never stops, and this most recent episode gave us all the tea. Whether it was Rasheeda taking some serious jabs at Yandy and Mendeecees or Saucy Santana making the breakthrough we've all been waiting for. Grab some popcorn because it's time to dive into the latest LHATL drama. Let's start with the big moment where everyone is talking about Rasheeda's shade towards Yandy and Mendeecees. If you've been following Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, you know that Rasheeda and Yandy have had a complicated relationship for a while. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what happened between Rasheeda and Yandy, why Saucy Santana is on the rise, and what it all means for the future of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Trust me, you'll want to stay for this one. Before we get into the actual moment, let's quickly go back in time to give you some background. Rasheeda is no stranger to conflict, whether it's family drama, business struggles, or the ongoing ups and downs of her marriage to Kirk Frost. However, for those who may not know, there has always been an undercurrent of tension when it comes to Yandy Smith. This is evident from past drama and misunderstandings, but what happened this episode? Was it a casual remark, or was Rasheeda really throwing some serious shade? Despite appearing to be in a good place, Yandy's relationship with Mendeecees Harris has been a roller coaster of drama during his time in prison and the difficulties of their blended family. Rasheeda, who has always had her family and marital struggles, frequently seems to view Yandy's struggles from a distance, sometimes offering advice and other times, well, just making observations. Thus, what actually happened this week in the most recent episode of Rasheeda? While she's been able to make her relationship work, Rasheeda seemed to imply that some people seem to thrive off playing the victim or stirring up drama to keep their storylines going. This struck home for Yandy, who's always been open about her marriage challenges and the hurdles she faced while Means was in prison. Rasheeda, during a group discussion that many felt was a direct jab at Yandy and Mendeecees. Many fans believed that Rasheeda was doubting Yandy's sincerity, which prompted an instant online debate. Viewers couldn't stop discussing whether Rasheeda was being passive-aggressive or just speaking the truth. This is where things get interesting, though, because Yandy didn't let the comment go unanswered. Instead, she responded sharply, calling Rasheeda out for being too critical. This exchange is precisely what fans love about reality TV: real, unfiltered reactions and unadulterated emotions. The catch is that the entire discussion didn't end with a back and forth. Instead, it set the stage for the drama isn't over, and the fallout from this exchange is far from finished. So stay tuned because we have more to uncover in the next section. However, before we dive into the next part of the story, take a moment to reflect. Are you Team Rasheeda or Team Yandy? If so, please share your thoughts in the comments below. There will be even more tension later in the episode, along with a shocking twist that you won't believe. This is where we have to ask who's in the right here. What do you think? Side you're on, and whether you believe Rasheeda's criticism was justified or inappropriate, let's move on to this season's rising star, Saucy Santana. If you've been watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, you know that Saucy has had a difficult journey. But this episode marked a turning point that fans are still talking about. He's officially ready to take on the world and is bringing his true self with him. Prior to the breakthrough, however, Saucy Santana hasn't always had it easy as a rapper and entertainer. Throughout Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, we've seen Saucy Santana struggle with feeling like he wasn't being taken seriously in the music industry despite his growing popularity on social media. He's faced hardships both personally and professionally, from growing up in a difficult environment to dealing with the constant struggles of the entertainment industry. Despite all of this, he has remained true to his craft and his identity, always showcasing his unapologetically bold, flamboyant persona. Game, or was he merely a social media celebrity with little lasting power? However, something changed in this episode. It wasn't just one incident, rather, it was a string of events that marked the beginning of Saucy Santana's career, from working with well-known artists to finally receiving the recognition he deserved. Saucy Santana started to make a significant impact. The episode's big opportunity was when he finally got the chance to perform at a significant event, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. Crucial moment for him to demonstrate that he was a legitimate member of the industry and not just a social media sensation. With the cameras rolling and the audience pumped, Saucy Santana had to deliver. He delivered an incredible performance that had both fans and other artists taking notice. His stage presence, energy, and confidence were on full display, and it was evident that this wasn't just a one-hit wonder. Throughout the entire episode, this performance served as a validation of his perseverance, hard work, and authenticity. Saucy Santana's breakthrough is a game-changer in the reality TV and entertainment industry. It's often difficult to distinguish between the characters we see on screen and the real people behind the scenes. But with Saucy Santana, what you see is truly what you get. He's authentic and unapologetically himself. His success isn't just a moment of personal achievement, it's a message to the industry. You could see the relief and joy on his face as he realized that all the struggle and rejection had led him to this point. Proof that being authentic pays off. Saucy Santana isn't changing for anyone. Rather, he's demonstrating to the world that you can enter the entertainment industry on your own terms and paving the way for future generations of LGBTQ+ people who may feel like they don't belong in the spotlight. However, the big question is, after such a significant breakthrough, will he be able to keep up the momentum and continue to demonstrate that he's more than just a reality TV star? Will he begin to make even bigger moves? Before we move on to the next section, we'd like to know if you think Saucy Santana's breakthrough is a one-time event or if he's just getting started. What do you think of his performance, and where do you see his career heading? We'll have to wait and see, but one thing is for sure. Saucy Santana is on the rise, and he's not slowing down anytime soon. Keep an eye on his social media because there are big things coming for this star. What began as a casual remark quickly turned into a heated confrontation that put everything on the line. Following Rasheeda's seemingly innocent jab, Yandy wasted no time responding. Yandy Smith Harris has never been one to hold her tongue, especially when it comes to her family. So when Rasheeda implied that Yandy and Mendeecees were exaggerating their struggles for the cameras, Yandy immediately went into. The tension in the room was evident as both women were on edge, and it didn't help that more cast members were watching the exchange. Nevertheless, Yandy wasn't having it and stood her ground, making it clear that the struggles she and Mendeecees faced, particularly during his time in prison, weren't for show. Rather, they were real challenges that affected their family and their future. This is where it gets interesting, though, because Rasheeda's response wasn't as apologetic as many expected. Rather than backing down, Rasheeda doubled down, implying that Yandy should prioritize her personal problems before attempting to counsel others on relationships. This was a pivotal moment in the show. It wasn't just a verbal exchange. Rather, it was a confrontation between two personalities, with Yandy's fiery and emotional personality and Rasheeda's tough, no-nonsense exterior. As fans dug deeper, the question of who is playing the victim here was bigger because, for many, Yandy's story has always involved some sort of public struggle. Yandy's response, on the other hand, was equally scathing, accusing Rasheeda of not knowing what it was like to endure the intense difficulties of a public relationship. Was Rasheeda correct to doubt Yandy's sincerity, or was Yandy justified in defending the real-life struggles that came with being with Mendeecees, particularly during his legal battles? This conflict was more than just words. It was about two women navigating their own complex emotions while being constantly scrutinized by the public eye. The confrontation escalated from there, and the back and forth between the two only got hotter. At one point, Rasheeda stormed off, obviously frustrated by the conversation. But Yandy wasn't backing down either. She followed her. At that point, things took a turn. With emotions running high, the conversation got more intense, and fans could feel the weight of the moment. The big question is, will Rasheeda and Yandy ever get past this tension? Every woman felt like they were being disrespected or misunderstood by the other, and the tension was getting out of control. In reality TV, emotions are high and alliances can change quickly, but this could be the start of a new rivalry or even the end of a long-standing friendship. How do you think it will play out? Will they be able to work things out, or is this the end of their relationship for good? Please leave a comment below, and don't leave too soon because there is still more drama to unpack. Now that we've seen the confrontation between Rasheeda and Yandy, it's time to step back and consider the wider picture. The dynamics of the cast of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta could be altered by this argument, or is it just another setback for the reality TV drama that we'll forget about by next week? The relationships between the women on the show have always been tense, but this particular altercation has taken things to a whole new level. The tension between Rasheeda and Yandy is evident, and it's obvious that this rivalry isn't going to be easily resolved. Show that she's not just playing the part of the cool-headed woman behind the scenes. She's prepared to fight back, especially when it comes to protecting her family and reputation. On the other hand, Rasheeda isn't one to let people get away with disrespect. Whether it's her feud with Yandy or her ongoing struggles with Kirk, her role as the show's bad girl is solidifying, and this confrontation only serves to highlight how much she's willing to stand her ground. The larger picture of reality TV versus real life is that, while this drama unfolds in front of the cameras, it's crucial to keep in mind that reality TV is frequently heavily edited. So when Rasheeda makes a comment like some, it may not be the whole story. Their feud could lead to more intense interactions between the cast and create new alliances and rivalries. In fact, it could set the stage for future episodes where we see dramatic showdowns, loyalties tested, and possibly even unexpected alliances formed. There is a fine line between what is real and what is being amplified for TV, but when it comes to the tension between Yandy and Rasheeda, both women have valid points. Rasheeda's concern about authenticity and Yandy's frustration with being misunderstood. But in reality TV, everything is heightened, and we can't forget that these moments are sometimes manipulated to create bigger narratives. People simply love playing the victim, so we have to wonder if she is being honest about her perspective. Or, this is part of what makes Love and Hip Hop Atlanta so captivating. Viewers are aware that the show balances genuine feelings with staged drama, and this episode was a perfect illustration of how the show navigates the fallout for their personal lives. This tension isn't just for the cameras, it could have a long-lasting effect on both Rasheeda and Yandy's personal lives. Rasheeda's relationship with Kirk has always been a major theme of her plot, and now that she's making bold remarks about other people, it raises questions about how their marriage may be impacted by her developing public persona. Given that Mendeecees has had to deal with some public drama, this heated argument could cause problems in her relationship with him. Specifically, will Yandy feel compelled to defend her marriage to Kirk and others, or will she take a step back and let her relationship breathe? These unresolved issues can spill over into their real-life relationships, adding a layer of drama that is even more intense than what we see on TV. However, the real question that is keeping everyone on edge is how this feud will end. The confrontation between the two women has set the stage for some major drama to come, and we know it's only going to get more intense from here. The aftermath of this fight might not only affect Rasheeda and Yandy, it could change the entire dynamic of the show going forward. What do you think will happen to this rivalry? Will it end, or will it be a long-standing rivalry that plays out throughout the season? Please share your thoughts in the comments below and let us know how you think it will end. While the drama between Rasheeda and Yandy had everyone talking, there is still more to come in this season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and you won't want to miss what happens next. Another important character in this season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta who is making waves is none other than Saucy Santana. In this episode, he had a breakthrough moment that left fans buzzing about his ascent in the industry. Before we get into the specifics of his breakthrough, it's important to understand who Saucy Santana is and why this moment is so important. In a genre that is frequently criticized for its lack of inclusivity, Saucy Santana's distinctive sound and his ability to stay true to himself have earned him a devoted following. Santana is a gay rapper and personality who has been making a name for himself in the industry not only for his music, but also for his bold, unapologetic personality. He has become a trailblazer in the hip-hop world, proving that there is room for diversity and representation, especially for LGBT+ artists. However, on this specific episode of LHATL, Saucy's breakthrough moment wasn't Saucy Santana's performance at the start of the episode caught everyone off guard. He had spent weeks preparing for this moment, knowing that it could be his chance to showcase his growth and talent to a wider audience, and boy, did he deliver. It wasn't just about music, it was about his personal growth and the journey he's been on. Fans saw a new side of Saucy Santana that we hadn't before, a vulnerable and reflective side that showed how far he's come in his career. It was a pivotal moment in the episode and marked a turning point in his career on the show for many. Despite his seemingly routine performance, it was the culmination of all the hard work he's put in over the years, and the audience was loving every second of it. It was evident that wasn't just a performance for the sake of making music, but rather a personal moment for him, as you could see the passion in his eyes and hear the emotion in his voice as he rapped his heart out. The performance was more than just music. It was an expression of identity, resilience, and confidence. Saucy Santana wasn't just performing for the audience. He was performing for himself. What made this moment even more impactful was that it symbolized the success of more than one artist. It was about breaking down barriers in the hip-hop industry, which has long been criticized for its lack of inclusivity, particularly when it comes to LGBTQ+ artists. His ascent to fame is evidence of how the scene is gradually shifting and how more voices are being heard. Say Santana continues to make waves in the music industry, dispelling myths and stereotypes, and demonstrating that it's possible to be authentically yourself and succeed at the same time. His message is striking a chord with fans who look up to him as a role model, not only for his musical ability, but also for his bravery in staying true to himself. Nevertheless, Saul's journey has been about personal development and conquering challenges. We've watched him struggle in both his personal and professional lives, but now more than ever, he's on a path to greater success and greater visibility. This episode's performance represents the start of a new chapter that might propel his career to even higher heights.